Hello, everyone. I'm back with the Vikas Jain show, and today we have an amazing guest on our show, Sangeeta as Sumesh. How are you, Sangeeta?
Very well, Vikas. Thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great, and I'm sure our audience is also great today. So we'll be discovering success mantra of Sangeeta today, and just to for the introduction of Sangeeta, she is the gain enabler, business coach for high performance and high profits, best-selling author and speaker. Sangeeta creates positive impact through high performance and high profits. Oh, very attractive words, right? She has rich corporate experience of 25 years with multinationals, and the latest position was as executive director and chief financial officer of Dun and Bradstreet Technologies. And now, on a mission to enable and empower and elevate businesses, leaders, and team. Sangeeta is a chartered accountant. That's an interesting thing. So that's why we can see how richness is coming into the things, right? Management accountant and completed executive education from HBS, Harvard Business School. Wow. She's a high performance business coach from International Coaching Federation and best selling author. No doubt she'll be a keynote speaker on business finance, high performance, and leadership. And she's a recipient of many awards. Welcome, Sangeeta, again to the show.
Thank you, Vikas. I'm
How did
really
you manage
excited to
so
be
many
here.
accolades?
Well, no secret there. So I think all the efforts that you put in gets the reward, and I would also think it's the divine grace at play. So you just do your part and leave the rest. So I think everything happens well.
And especially during this time, that's the best message that our audience can get. Do your best and leave the rest. Nothing much we can
Absolutely.
do right now.
Yes.
So for the audience, whatever question you have, you can comment in the section below and we'll be taking those questions. So before you start sharing your questions, I'll start with mine. And it starts with, so basically, Sangeeta, we always talk about success. So this show is all about discovering the success mantra. But how do you define success?
There is no one particular success because particular definition for success, because to each one success could be different things. If for somebody it could be to be a great have a great life in corporate, another one to be successful in business, another one would want to be a successful homemaker, or be successful in their passion, in their hobbies. So it varies person to person, but for me, I think if I'm able to balance and lead a holistic life, I think that's success to me. Because for me, my personal life, professional life, social life, and spiritual life, all these are very important. So as long as I'm able to strike a good balance amongst all of these, I think that's success. That's what it means to me.
Wow. And how do you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is bottom and 10 is high? How is it going right now?
It keeps fluctuating, but yeah, I mean, each day it varies actually, because sometimes when you think you've done something very well and you're very happy with yourself, you're like, yay, and then you feel on top of the world. If not, it's the other extreme, so it keeps fluctuating.
Oh, that's interesting. And in between, I got some comments, so I'll show. So we are saying hi from Rajesh. Hi, Rajesh. How are you?
Hey, hi Rajesh.
Yeah. And we have an interesting question is that किस मुद्दे पर live आए हो sir? So it's about success mantra Deen Dayal ji. And let's see if you get what you are looking for. Right. The next question revolves around your childhood memory. You seems to be very naughty, right? So some childhood memory which you still cherish.
um okay, so
And
when I was
especially अगर आज तक कोई उस बात को ना जानता हो. Nobody knows it.
okay, so when I during my childhood, when I started meaning just before I could start school. So my the people I used to play with, as children. So there were two brothers and another girl, and three of us were about more or less the same age. So the one was an older one to us, so he was like a big brother to us. We would just follow him. And amongst his brother and this other girl, they both were senior to me by few months. And when we started school, since I was younger to them by about 6 months or something, I was admitted in the lower KG, the lower kindergarten, and they were in the upper kindergarten. So I was feeling very left out because I said, we are friends together and they're going to be my seniors. And I was actually inspired by them because I wanted to be together, with all of them. So I used to, as soon as I heard that I'm in the lower class and they are in the higher class, I went to my mom. I used to cry to her. I said, no, even I want to be with them in the same class. I don't want to be left behind. So my mom actually went and spoke to the principal, and then the principal said, if she's ready and competent enough, we'll give her a test. If she clears, then she can join them in the upper KG. So like every day my mom used to teach me, and I got straight away into the upper KG, and I was with my friends, and I was like so delighted about it because I didn't want to be left out. And the reason actually I'm telling you this is that incident actually inspired me a lot. Couple of things. My friends inspired me. I always say wherever you can seek inspiration, just go ahead and get it. They inspired me, and that incident is actually quite fairly fresh in my mind. And especially times when I feel low, I try to motivate myself thinking about this. So I'm just like, where there's a will, there is a way. So you want to go for it, put in your efforts, and then you'll find success.
Yeah, one of the key thing that I got in this is that in your lower KG, LKG, you felt left out and you still remember it. Like I don't remember. I think till fifth or seventh
No,
class. I don't have those memories.
no, and funnily, I remembered this incident very recently because, this other girl that I mentioned, we had lost touch. And then suddenly she contacted me in social media. So, this incident just immediately popped into my head.
Cool, cool. So that set the foundation for high performance in lower KG. Wow.
Absolutely. Yes, you're right.
Interestingly, before we get onto the journey of how you achieved success, but there is other side of the success, which is the failure. So in your life, is there any failure? Definitely there would be, because there is no success without the failures. But anything which you
Absolutely.
like to see share that has given you most learning and most wisdom, which is still helping you.
Yes, definitely. So my, takeaway out of my failure was that attitude really matters. So this happened, I think, during my college days. So when I was doing my BCom, along with it, I was also doing my ICWA. So ICWA, like you may know, has two parts: the inter and the final.
Yeah.
And believe me, for inter, actually, I never prepared much.
It got frozen. Now you can continue.
Yes,
I think.
yes. Is it okay now?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So I was saying, for my ICWA exams, for the inter, I never prepared actually, and somehow I got through. So that gave me a lot of overconfidence, and my attitude also wasn't really right. Uh, and that I learned it the hard way, because for my final exams, the ICW final exam, I never prepared. I said, since I was able to, get away with the inter without much preparation, I think I will be able to go ahead and, shine here as well. And that overconfidence actually pulled me down because I realized my attitude towards the exam, the preparation wasn't right. So that failure lesson has, remained very strongly with me. And, I realized that if something is important, you should put in the efforts, you should have the right attitude and approach it in the right way, so that then you can get success.
Makes a lot of sense. Yes, attitude is the key thing, and definitely we can understand that. And how did that shift happen? Like from a chartered accountant to a high performance coach, you could be just an high income coach or something like that. But why high performance?
Right. So, what I say, to get high profits, you need to be having high performance, because performance is what leads to your profits ultimately. So, my journey as a coach also wasn't greatly prepared. I just that at one point in time, I think about like 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, I was just hearing this word coach from, so many different people, very unrelated and unconnected people. So it just got me thinking, what is this coach all about? And to to me, I took it like a divine guidance, because it's like out of the blues, you keep hearing, so much. So that just aroused my curiosity. So when I started checking about it, I was told that, these trainings for coach training happens mostly in Bombay or Bangalore. And, I said, forget it, I'm not going to travel all the way. And when I had decided that, I bump into another person and I said, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I'm a coach. I'm like, hang on, just tell me more. What is this coach about? What does a coach do? And stuff like that. So then he gave me a lot more introduction. And then he said, oh, by the way, I know these trainings are happening in the coming weekend. And so I said, where is it happening? And strangely, it was happening right next door to my place. So I was like,
So many
okay.
divine interventions happening.
Absolutely. So I was all the more curious. So I went and I, met those people, spoke to them, and I said, what is this coaching all about? And then, it just sounded interesting. So I said, okay, I'm open to learning. I love to learn new things and explore myself. So I said, okay, let me just come and learn. I didn't know what really it entailed or what it involved, but the learning was amazing. And I think led me to one level after the other. And I really enjoyed my journey as a coach, because being a coach is so empowering. You're transforming lives, you're helping people get better at what they do. And so that's where the performance aspect comes in. So I said, it would be good for me to combine my 25 years of finance experience along with this and see how I can elevate, empower, and enable businesses to get better. So that's how this whole idea came about to me.
Yeah. So who is your typical target audience? Like people who comes most to you, like for getting the coaching?
Right. So it's mostly the corporates, because, I have a corporate experience, and also entrepreneurs. So when I say corporates, it's both leaders and teams, who the leaders probably want their teams to, grow and, live up to the expectation, because the leader is only as successful as his team, right? So I also do group sessions and one-on-one sessions. So for leaders, I normally do one-on-one, and then for the teams, I do it as a group session. And of course, the objective for the group session should be the same. So then, it's very empowering, and also for entrepreneurs. So I try to see how I can combine the financial aspect of it, because end of the day, performance is for profits, right?
Yes, PP, performances for profit. Yeah, cool. And interestingly, while you have coached so many leaders and entrepreneurs and teams, any tough client, like any leader or any team which like put you in a different space?
Not really, but then, the beautiful part about coaching is every coaching conversation is actually helps you, or you learn something out of it, while you are actually enabling and helping the other person to find solutions to their challenges. There's always invariably some little learning, or something that you can take away for your personal life. So then it creates a kind of a win-win as well. But the I don't know if you read this book, The $1 Trillion Coach, which is about
About
Bill Campbell.
my
Yes,
yes.
yeah. So in that he says, you coach only the coachable. So
Yes.
that sentence has really, I have clung on to that, because I think it makes a lot of sense. If there is a lot of resistance, if a person doesn't want to improve and get better, then there's no point. So, and the example that I always tell such people, though I have had people who've had resistance to coaching initially, but then what I tell them, because they think I'm already good, why do I need a coach? But what I tell them is, take any sports professional, be it tennis, cricket, football, whichever. If you notice, however successful each of them may be, they all have a coach for themselves, right?
Yeah.
Do they think, oh, I'm good and then I don't need a coach? No. So how is the executive world any different? In business as well, if you want to scale and grow, why should it be any different, right? So if you want to get better, I would always say, one must reach out to a coach and see how they can get better at what they're doing.
Oh, great thought. And one of our viewer is sharing the similar thought. A leader may change the face of the society in decent shape and way. And yes, and we have
Yes,
leader, a person who is coaching these leaders. So she is creating even more impact in that way. Wow.
true that.
You have, yeah. How many books you have written so far?
I have about 4 of them. The first one is a spiritual thriller. It's called A Glance of the Unknown.
Ritual
Uh, the
thriller.
It's a spiritual thriller. Yeah.
That itself is a new word to me. Spiritual thriller.
Yeah. So I was very reluctant when I, thought I would write because I never had plans to become an author. And that book was very well received. It won me an award as one of the 100 inspiring authors of India. And when I started telling people that I've written a spiritual book, everybody was like, "Where's the finance book?" So that led me to write my next book, which is called "What's the Finance." So that is
And people
on
people are really interested in that acronym, right? The environment
WTF.
is like that. WTF.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, yeah. So what the finance is a national bestseller. So that has easy and practical tips for to how to run your business from a financial perspective. So if this is a challenge, this is a solution. So it's very like hands-on, no gyan. And it also has stories of some of the successful entrepreneurs. What were their learnings, what were their mistakes, so that nobody has to reinvent the wheel.
Wow.
So yes, that has been well. And then the third book is a free download on Audible. It's called The Power of High Performance Coaching. Because people are still not very sure on what coaching is and what a coach does and all that. So it is more to give an introduction to coaching. And of course, my latest book, which I've just launched, is called Get High. So that is how to coach yourself for high performance in your work. And it's been endorsed by Dr. Marshall Goldsmith, who is one of the New York Times bestseller and the leading executive coach. And also Prakash Iyer, who's again a leadership coach and motivational speaker and an author as well. And also Ron Kaufman, who's again a New York Times bestseller.
Cool. With the name Get High, I think, and earlier you talked about spiritual thriller. People are mostly interested in spirit, so they'll use the spirit and get high instead of using all the gyan and anything else.
Yes. So, by the way, no gyan. I don't believe in giving gyan because, again, like a coach, it's for the person to realize. So even this book, there is no gyan. It has activities that will help you to get better at what you're doing. And of course, it also has short stories from which one can learn from. So it's more like practical, hands-on on what an individual can do to get better and,
Yes,
up their game
and
or in
people
their
need
performance.
that. And one of your friend is saying hi to you. Good to see you, Sangeeta and Vikas. Hi, Asutosh. How are
Hi,
you?
hi, Ashutosh. Hi.
And now we have a one additional question coming from Manish Chabra. Any particular reason why you wrote your first book on spiritual and not finance? Because you were a person of finance, so why spirituality first?
Yes, yes, very right. Very good question, Manish. So the thing is, as I said, I never had plans to be an author. It was a family vacation that I had taken to Cambodia. Something happened there when I went to the killing fields. There was a mass genocide that happened there, and that when I saw those images, and it was very brutal. So it just got me thinking on, what happens if man is so cruel, and how can man be so barbaric? So it's just that I was left with the thought, and unknowingly I had weaved a story, and then I kind of built on it. I was very reluctant if I should write about it or not, but they say magic happens outside your comfort zone. So I mustered the courage, and I wrote the book, and then of course one thing led to the other.
So spirit came first and then finance.
You need to be in good spirits, right? Only then.
Yes, in good spirits. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you talk about high performance, and I also talk about how to become and achieve world class success. So what do you think? How people can get to the next level in some 2 or 3 tangible ways, like what they should do
Right.
immediately?
Sure. So, because I'm an acronym person, I love giving acronyms.
Yeah.
So, the acronym I would give here is, life is the best teacher anybody can have, because life teaches you so many different things, whichever aspect that you want to learn from. So, remember life as an acronym. So, L is love what you do. So if you want success, if it's something that you love, then it becomes a lot more easier for you to do, compared to something that you dislike or you don't like. So love what you do, right? So I stands for inspire, inspiration. So I say inspiration is all around us. You just need to look for it and find out what is it, you can get out of that inspiration and see how you can give it better shape. So I is for inspiration. F is for focus. So now if you have good focus on what you want to do, then you're bound to be successful. And of course, E stands for excel. So if you excel at what you do, then by default you will get successful, right? So L is love what you do, I is the inspiration, F is focus, and E is excel. So you do all this, then you become a high performer, and thereby you are successful in what you do.
Wow, that's so interesting. Life. I think everybody can easily remember the how to get higher in life. Cool.
Absolutely.
So, if people or any entrepreneur like to contact you, or is there any upcoming program that they can enroll in from you, or is it more of one-to-one coaching? Like how they can get services from you?
Right. So it's mostly one-on-one coaching, but for group sessions as well, if there are a couple of them who'd like to come together, then I'm ready to do a group session, because everybody should have the same objective, right? So that also I'm open. And the best way to reach out to me would be on LinkedIn or my website, which is www.sss.coach. That's easy to remember. SSS.coach. So SSS.coach. Or on social media, my handle is Sang Shasum.
And how can you spell it for the audience? Like what is that which you quickly said?
Yeah, Sang Shasum is an abbreviation of my name. My full name is Sangeeta Shankaran Sumesh. So SANG from Sangeeta, SHA from Shankaran, and SUM from Sumesh. So I just thought it'd be cooler to have a shorter name rather than such a long name.
Yes. On the first hand, it looked like me like I'm talking about some saregama or something. Sang sa some, and it might be that again the divine intervention, some extra vibration in your name which can uplift people. Cool.
For sure. Yes.
Cool. With that thought, we are going to close the session in the next 2 minutes. Before we close, what could be your last message? Because at this particular time, we all know that most of the world is under panic situation, whether it's big businesses or small businesses or individuals, right? So, what could be your message that, beside talking about high performance, most of the people are lying in their home, they don't know what to do. So what can get them started? What could be the final message for the audience?
Right. So if you notice in the past, there have been economic slowdowns, there have been these sort of pandemics, and mankind has been, successful in overcoming such things. So this too shall pass is the first thing. So
Yeah.
till the time it passes, what I would say is, see how you can utilize your time effectively, how you can be more productive. I mean, so what if you're indoors? So what is it that you can do from the comfort of your home? Now everything is online. So be it you want to learn something new, or you want to connect with different people, you want to build your network, or you want to try your hands on something new, you can work out online, right? If you want to get into better health. So the options are unlimited. It's just that one has to put their minds to it. So if you just look around you, there are umpteen number of things. Like, for example, I know somebody who started getting into art at, I think she must be about close to 35 or 40, who's never done any sort of art. But then she's been creating very beautiful paintings. And just by learning from YouTube and other online sources, right? So it's never too late. So, normal times we've always been complaining that, I don't have enough time, especially for my hobbies, or, you want to try something new, or you can even start cooking something, right? Trying out a new dish, or, learning something. So I think that way you should look at the positive side of it, spending more time with family, because otherwise you don't really get so much time together. So see how it is you can make the most of it, because I also believe that everything has a positive and negative. So look at the positives, then life can get a little better.
Yeah, look at the positive and life can get little better. And I'm sure it will not be just little, it will be more than little. It will really get better. And with that message, we are going to close this today's Vikas Jain show. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, you can subscribe our YouTube channel and Facebook channel for another amazing guest next time. And with that, I would like to thank again Sangeeta Sum for coming to our
Absolutely.
show.
Thank you,
Oh,
Vikas, and good luck.
and as we are just moving out, as it happens in every class, there is some last moment question. So here it came again. So I would
Sure.
still want to take it up
Sure.
from Rajesh. What's the secret behind your high level energy level, Sangeeta?
Okay, great. Great question, Rajesh. Thanks for asking. So, my secret is an open secret. I'm into art of living for the last 15 years. So, very simple breathing exercises, and that really helps me to de stress, gives me a lot of energy, and I think also that enthusiasm that one requires, because energy and enthusiasm go hand in hand. So, that's my secret. So, you'll have to find out what is it that works for you. You could also try this or see what would really enable you to feel uplift your own self.
And Rajesh, if you need more information, the next website to go on to is sss.coach. And you will get all the answer. With that message, yeah, bye bye. Thanks
Yes, see
again.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Joy.